Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Guys, welcome back to Construct Your Life, Construct My Life, Construct Your Life. We have I can't even say the word. We have Julie Holly in the house. How are you doing?
I am doing super great. Kaleidoscope. Say it.
Kaleidoscope, multifamily investor, ex-teacher. Guys, I just covered her bio because we're just going to have a long-form conversation. But I do like to let my guests kind of start their story to give a little context, a little background. So if you want to start it, and we'll kind of go from there. And this is great. See, here's the deal. I never do interviews on Friday. I've had the busiest week ever. And you're it. Like
I feel like a unicorn right now. I'm a kaleidoscope unicorn.
I have one more meeting and then it's just chill week. So you're getting the calm down version of Austin. He's in Friday mode.
That's good. Okay, that's good. Because you know what? You and I think are both kindred spirits. So we're both kind of amped up personalities. So it's good that one of us is calm, because I don't know if the audience could handle both of us being at our full max capacity. It might might bring too much. You asked me to introduce myself a little bit. I don't even know how to do that. People are so intricate. So macro. I'm a former school teacher and I'm a multifamily investor with this powerhouse drive to build mindset in everyone's lives.
I was curious because I didn't ask you when we interviewed you yesterday. How many units do you own currently?
I am passively invested, which is also a beautiful thing, in just under 300 units. And
you're not active in any of those investments?
I'm not active in that.
So what do you do on a day-to-day? You're still a teacher?
Great? No. So I know. Isn't that crazy?
What do you do all day?
What do I do? I know. I create a powerful mindset for everybody. So I am transitioning into the active role. So that's what I do.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Oh, why did I do it? Because I have way too much energy. And honestly, it's more of a drive to serve other people. So here's the deal. I grew up all around residential real estate and I was in residential sales. My husband is in residential sales, just passed his broker's license, which is cool. That's been my world. Then I met multifamily and I'm like, wait, I was sold this lie all these years. I didn't even know this existed. And knowing the power behind it and what it can do in someone's life when people invest strategically in multifamily, and that affords people this level of freedom that they don't even understand. They don't even know that they can do this. So basically, I'm on a mission to go and emancipate people's portfolios so that they could really be diversified and have this other little nugget.
Yeah. Okay. And I love that. But in 300 plus interviews, there's one enigma that I haven't answered yet. And maybe you can help me with this. I find it anybody that is locked in and focused, like a Jake and Gino or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And they'll go a year and a half without buying. My only concern about multifamily is how you as a high performer stay engaged and driven when you can go 6 months, a year, 2 years without buying a property. Is your why so big that it doesn't matter, or the mission and the values are set so firm that you say so disciplined?
But it's the process. So that's where that personal development really comes into play. If you embrace the process and not the finish line, right, there are different processes. So obviously once you're operating an asset and everything, that's a different stage. But if you just say, okay, my number one mission is to raise capital and to free people and to get the message out to people, as many people as possible. So I jokingly say, I have a faith testimony and I have a real estate testimony. And I'm I just want to go proselytize the world about real estate and multifamily investing. And so that keeps my drive intense and high.
That's an amazing point, because we all live so many different segments of life. And I feel like mine is reborn because I'm sober now 2+ years, and there's opportunities, that aren't available to me. And I feel like somebody asked me the other day, they said, I see you as a movie director. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, and he's like, it just, something hits me. And what I keep telling people is, I think the back half of my life, like 60 to like whatever, is going to be pretty fucking interesting. Like,
seriously.
Like, I feel like for right now in this 15-year span, because I'm 38, and I feel like until 50, so like 12 years, I feel like it's going to be like build businesses, create that personal freedom. And then I feel like once I have that freedom, it's really going to be interesting to see what I actually want to spend my time on. Because like, I almost think that I want to like coach for free. I really don't like charging for coaching. Like, I'd rather like go, like, one of my big,
but you have to. You have to.
I know. But one of my big whys is I want to create a fund to invest in middle school and high school businesses. Like, I think that's so cool, right? Like, I meet these, what my favorite thing to do is, I meet people that I interview, and then I go on a call with their kids who are like 13 and 15, and I tell them what life is really like. And like, they tell me their business idea, and I'm like, well, you should do this, you should do that. And I'm like, he's like, oh my God. And so like, his son listens to my podcast now, and he's like 12. And I'm like, now he probably shouldn't, because I cuss too much, but I love that, because that aspect, and you come from the school world, that entrepreneurship is so ripped out of society in that school. Seth Godin was on a podcast with Aubrey Marcus, and he was saying like, the new economy is the contract work, the freelance work, and this entrepreneurship. But we have an antiquated school system that is predicated on manufacturing from the 1800s. That's never been changed. It doesn't make any sense to me on any level.
But my husband and I always say that the public schools are the social experiment. Like, they haven't been around for that long. Like, this is actually like the newest thing, that we send kids to school in this way, and that we just it's a manufacturing facility. Here's a cookie cutter, and here's how you need to fit and everything. The best thing that ever happened to me was having a son that doesn't fit that cookie cutter. And then when I went back into education a second time, it was like completely different, because I'm like, and I would say this to him. I'm very cautious because about how I speak about him, because we're all sensitive. And but like, he's that kid. He doesn't fit. He's wiggly. He's a stereotypical boy, not to get into gender and everything too much, but he's stereotypical. Like, he likes to move. He's like a friendly Labrador, and he doesn't fit, and he doesn't think inside the box that everyone wants him to. And we need people like that. And if he were to stay in that system, he would like totally get squished. He was getting squished. Now he's free. Now he can.
What is he doing now that he's free?
I know. So he's in he's in a college prep virtual academy.
How old is he?
He's 12. He just entered middle school.
He's in a what?
Yeah, it's a college prep virtual academy. So,
okay.
He's not in the standard system anymore. So he does his normal schoolwork during the day and everything, but it just allows him time to, like, this sounds silly to a lot of people. He has time to build with Legos. He has time to play Minecraft and to craft on that. And I know some people might discredit that, but if you are a creative person, having a creative outlet that's productive and being able to just think and to read, that's a gift right there. And it's really important.
Me and your son are like best friends already. Like, I cannot wait to go see, like, literally tell him whatever business idea he comes up with in the next 2 years, I'm in.
He has business ideas, and he'll throw them around, and then we just talk about it. Right now, he wants to be a YouTuber. So we're talking about, and he wants to be the creative. This is it. We took him out to lunch yesterday. He said, like, so what do you want to do within that? And he's like, well, I don't have to be the face. I don't have to be the person. I want to be the person. I'm like, that's just it. You're a content creator.
Well, here's what we're going to do for him. I'm going to set it up. one of my I'm dead. I'm not joking. I'm putting it on camera. I'm setting it up. One of my best friends runs a huge marketing firm for YouTubers and podcasters. He's one of my best friends, and he does this for GoBundance. He does this for many podcast hosts. I'm going to set up a free call with your son and him, and we're going to have a conversation so we can give him some tips and help him get his YouTube channel off the ground.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Seriously.
You have to nurture creativity. You cannot stamp it out. But we're not talking about your son right now, because I want to get deep. I want to get deep and dark in there. So I'm trying to think how I can throw you off your game, because you're so on top of it. I'm trying to think like I'm
I'm so open and transparent, just like you, that I'm just like, you're not gonna like hurt my feelings or anything, or throw me off, because I'm like, let's do this.
Exactly. And so, okay, here's a great question, and I'm sure the same thing that people would ask me.
Yeah.
Who are you now, or like who do you sit as you are today on this interview, and who are you striving to be in the next 6 months to a year? Like what are aspects of your life, right, to give people a window into like what we do every day, right? Like I take like a month or two and I'm studying a certain topic, right? Like I'm trying to add more weapons to the thing. Like what are you doing on a day in, day out basis that you're trying to get to?
I feel like I'm at the beginning of this journey. And yet every single day I feel like I'm at the beginning of the journey. And I think that also keeps some freshness to it, that you understand your position in things, because every day is like this new awakening if you receive it. And so you're like, oh, this is ultimately where I want to go. This is the vision that I have. And wow, I took these steps yesterday. Like I'm very much embraced finally at like 44. It took that many years to like embrace, like just do daily disciplines, just do a little bit, one more rep, just a little bit every day. Right. So today, like you want to know like day to day what I do?
No, I'm just curious. Like I'm trying to give them a window into how you approach like your month or your week to like, because people
that's powerful. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Okay. So I have taken my vision and I really, this is it. This is where we go. We're going to go deep. So most people, I am just going to be so general, broad brush. Like most people think that goals are dumb, and they either set goals because, you gotta aim high, shoot for the moon, because then you land on the stars, and blah, blah, all these other like lame little things that we come up with, right? Like instead of just saying, hey, who do I want to be when I'm 50? Who do I want to be? Where do I want to be? Like when I see myself as an old lady, which I picture myself as an old lady, and it's fun. I'm like, that's such a gift. If I get to be that old, that's so super cool. But I took the whole where I want to be, and honestly, I transformed myself into like, what is my future self? And in my head, like a year and a half ago, I just traveled in time to my future self. And I looked back on my life, because everybody's going to look back. And at a certain age, in your middle years, you have enough to look back on that. You're like, crap, why did I waste all that time? What was I thinking? I was a spendthrift with my time and my talents. Like it could make me angry, or I could use that to leverage the next years of my life to accomplish like really great, powerful things. So future me looks back and I'm like, okay, that's where I am. I've broken down my goals, and ultimately, like, this is so lofty. Ultimately, I just really want people to unlock freedom in their life. And freedom looks so different, but this world is wrapped and laced in so much fear, and people are trying to find so much security here, that my ultimate goal, like if I were to look at 50-year-old Julie, like I'm on a stage speaking to, thousands of people and inspiring and encouraging them to walk away from this fear that they're living in, and to like live the abundant life that they can have. Like, I'm a huge believer that, remember Care Bears? Like you're a dude, so you might not like back in the day, and that was pretty old, but they're Care Bears, and they all had like Cheer Bear, and like there are all these like different bears, and they have the superpower. And so I feel like if everybody could just activate their own superpower, and that's where schools come into play, is like, golly, all the superpower just gets buried and squished because it's raw material and it's raw and it's edgy and it doesn't come off right. And so instead of helping refine it and sanding it with a nice soft sandpaper, right? We like take this hammer and we're like, kabam, and we just shatter everybody's superpower. And so I feel like adults today just need to really find their superpower and accept and receive that they are good at something and they are talented at something and they can face this world. And that's part of overcoming that fear. Like they're afraid of themselves. That's a lot.
No, you're spot on, and you hit it right. So I just took a test for a guy that we might go into business with because he loves this kind of stuff. And he was like, "I'm just curious if you took this like very detailed disc, like and all this stuff." He literally said that I don't think, and he goes, "I'm going to ask my business coach to just double check. I don't think anybody could score higher on the individualism." He goes, "You literally broke the fucking chart off the thing. It's like 99% red, like in that area." And he goes, "I've never seen anything like that." He's more like, like it's perfect. Like we're the exact opposite. Something I've been railing against, we're no longer allowed to be unique. Like, and not only are we no longer allowed to be unique, adults forgot how to have fun. Like nobody has fun anymore. And what you realize is that if you look back on your childhood and you search for what made you happy, like, is it Mel Roberts? Is that her name? Mel.
Oh, I like her. Yeah.
Yeah. So she said something very interesting. She said, all you are out there searching for passion and purpose, right? Passion and purpose, passion and purpose. That's what everybody talks about. She goes, I got a great idea. How about you go after the things that give you energy?
Yes.
And the thing is like, and my girlfriend's finally, she's like, I don't understand how you talk to so many people. It gives me energy, like helping people, giving them that avenue. But what we've conditioned society as instead is don't reach for your goals. Be happy with what you got. Like instead of understanding what we actually need is just to be happy. Like, look, that goals conversation could be a whole separate podcast. Okay. I'm cool with goals. I have goals, but what the reason that you're not working out when it's raining, the reason that the first time a deal goes bad, you give up, the reason that your girlfriend's mad at you and you think the world's ending, like the reason that your husband get in a fight and you want to get a divorce, is because your why's not big enough. It's because the need to be on this earth is not big enough. And you can live in your values, but like mine and yours goal is I want to impact every life that I come in contact with. So my question is how can you beat me? That why can never be obtained. And so if that's my why, then everything else is just a byproduct of my daily actions. And that's where we have it all wrong. Like, no, I'm going to make $100,000 a month. Like, what? No.
Who cares?
Who gives a fuck? Like, there's only so much amount of money you can spend. And these young kids, I see them all the time. Well, I'm going to be happy and I'm going to work out when I get here. It's easy. Dude, I met it with one of my friends today, young hustler, great kid I mentor. As soon as he became an agent, stop working out, stop meditating, stop doing all the things that got him there. And his mentor and my mentor and everybody's told him, I said, okay, look, 3 successful people just told you that you come first. And if I hear that you're not working out, like we're not going to have a conversation. Like it's not acceptable. I don't care if you need money. That's the number one pillar. Like, are you going to, as I put it, are you going to put on your own personal armor first before you go out in the world?
And if you don't do that, if you don't take care of yourself, it's just complete self-sabotage. So then why do people do that? People do that because they're scared of being successful. We have completely destroyed what success is. Like if you're successful, now people are going to ostracize you. and they're going to kick you. I haven't listened to the episode because it's not live yet, but in my opinion, when you're successful, the tribe that you've been rolling with, they're not going to accept you anymore oftentimes because, and they will make all sorts of labels and excuses. So we don't have this like deeper incentive oftentimes culturally to pursue success because we know it comes at a cost, and we might not want to pay that price of losing our tribe in order to pursue our higher purpose.
Yeah, that's an amazingly put, because at the end of the day, what's interesting, right? And I'll just use a perfect example. I coach a client that needed to have about 6 different conversations with about his old boss, his ex-girlfriend, his dad, like all these things, right? That he needed to have for like a year. Didn't have any of them. When he met me, left his job, left his girlfriend, moved across the country. Like I changed the whole game. The game just literally like, you know what's wild? Every one of those conversations, business partners, dad, ex-boss, all of them were 100% supportive, because he came at it from a position of, this is what I needed. And instead of picking. And the best advice I ever got in my life from my coach when I was about to get divorced was, don't you dare say anything about her. Just say exactly what you need. And this is how I feel. And when you do that, when it's you and then it just sits with you, they don't have anything to hang on to. And we give our spouses, our family members, our bosses, we give them the ammo they need, because we like make it about something that's not even important. When you just talk about what you are and what you need, and you worry about you, they're either going to come with you. We interviewed you yesterday on Brain Dump, and you said something that I think is one of the most important things that I've ever heard in my entire life. When you started doing personal development, you told your husband, hey, motherfucker, this is where I'm going. I love you, but this is where I'm going. It's going to be what it's going to be. You're going to figure it out. You're going to jump on board. And I think for you to have that courage to say, like, this is a real thing. Like, I love you, but I'm not going to stop working on me because it makes a difference to this universe. I thought it was a very important conversation.
That was also a really important conversation for context for people. Like if you love somebody and you want to have that lifetime, because there's something to like looking back over the years, and we'll talk about it, like, dang, we've had really great times. We've had really crappy times. We've had everything in between. But when you work on working things through together, that is in and of itself is personal development. So to have that conversation to say, hey, I have to go this route. This is working and I can feel this pulling me. And this is a really productive, healthy, great thing for me. I don't want us to go sideways. I want you to come with me, but you can't force anybody. As soon as we get to that point of acceptance of like, I can't make anybody do anything. I had to come to that in my 20s. And then being a control freak, I am recovering control freak always. Like I have to like constantly remind myself, acceptance, right? But guess what? Then like, he's transforming as a person because he said, I value us. And I think he could see what was taking place in my life, and it's impacted our family in a profound, awesome way.
So anybody that's out there, let's say they want to get sober, or their relationship's not where they want it to be, or they just want to change. What advice would you give to them? Because obviously your loved ones, your family members, your friends, they're going to clap back. They're going to be upset. Like, what advice would you give to them? Because, that I think what keeps a lot of people from changing is the negative emotions and context that their friends and family and closest people are putting on them.
Dude, right? Now you're going to make me cry now, Austin. Like seriously, because, I've lost a lot of relationships in my life because I have chosen something that I believe is healthier for my life. And when you make that choice, the people around you may or may not agree with that choice. They might not even agree or disagree with the path that you are deciding to pursue. And you know, what does Tony Robbins say? Doesn't he say something like some relationships are for, you know, a reason, a season, or a lifetime? And it's like, you know what? Some of those relationships that we have been told should be for a lifetime really aren't the best for a lifetime. And it's the hardest thing to say, wow, that's really healthy and dysfunctional. And that person, they want to stay like that. Now, do I want to let them keep me like this? Am I going to be satisfied looking back on my life saying, oh, I just stayed in the lane that they put me in? Heck no, I don't want to stay. I don't want to live that imposter life. I don't want to live this other life that's not mine. And so, like, if you really want to be satisfied and fulfilled, then you have to say, I'm going to have the courage to change me. And I'm going to be brave and courageous to accept that might not be received by everyone around me. But I also have hands to accept and receive all the blessings and opportunities that will come my way because I make this change and transformation. See, that's just it. We're focusing on the negative. We're focusing on what we're losing instead of focusing on what are we walking into.
Well, one of my favorite quotes ever, and I'm about to get on my soapbox for anybody in recovery out there, but one of my favorite quotes ever is Kyle Cease, who's one of my favorite humans ever. And he has two of my favorite quotes. He says, the problem with, and let's see if I get this right, the problem with making a decision is the positives. Everybody can see that because they're quantifiable. What we don't understand is by telling the truth, we don't know what's going to happen. And that's what's scary, right? I didn't say it perfectly right, but you kind of get the concept. Yeah. But I'm going to be the voice for everybody out there that wants to get sober or wants to change their life. And I'll be as curt and as clean as I can in this, but it gets me frustrated.
How about you be you? Well, I accept and receive you as you.
Well, think about it this way. Think about it this way. For anybody in your fucking life that is upset that you want to be healthy and happy and they don't want that for you, go fuck yourself. Like, and on so many levels, go fuck yourself. And I can't tell you how many times I talk to people in recovery whose family members or spouses are upset that they decided to do better with their life. And they hold attachment to it. And the reason I get so upset is because you don't understand how much fucking energy it takes to, guys, I was drinking every day for 8 fucking years. Like, this is not like some little, and for me, you know what's fucking crazy, right? I had a friend come to me, a good friend, who got me in my first mastermind, which kind of got me sober. He said, you just quit and it was just done. Like, you were done. And like, it was like 60 days, you're done. He goes, do you understand? He's like, do you even get it? And here's the deal. To this day, I've never given myself any credit for it. But he says, do you get that, like, for like 20 years, you were just like drinking like almost every day, and you just said, I'm done. Like, but I was so done with it. Like, it was just done. And like, I have that personality, right? But the girl I interviewed this week, she said this, understand that hope, like, it's there. Like, it might be muddy. It might be, you can't see it. It might be covered by some trees and some bad feelings. But all you got to do is just wipe it a little way, one day at a time. And I promise you, the life, here's what they freak out about in getting sober and in all that space and changing, is that we're never going to feel that pull that the alcohol or that bad relationship has on us. We're never going to feel that root. And I'm here to tell you, it's going to go away. That toxic relationship with your spouse, that pull that you have to drink, the marijuana addiction. I promise you, if you get far enough away from it, it will get away.
There's so much to say to that. So I don't know that you know this part, but I was trying to figure out if I was an alcoholic at one point. Mm-hmm. And that was a really, like, sober moment for me was trying to figure this out because I absolutely love wine. And so I did this entire podcast episode. I went through habits and I was just cleaning out the habits in my life. Like, we are all attached. So if you're not at a point in your life where you can say, I'm addicted to something, then fine, use the word attachment. You are attached to something. You want your special bottle of water, your Starbucks coffee or whatever. Like, you have something that is your go-to little, pacifier, and so like, when's the last time people like actually evaluated what are the pacifiers in my life? What are these like little things that I am holding on to as my little blankie, right? We still have blankies, and it's like, what's my healthy blankie, or how
I could call mine out. I could call mine out right now.
Okay, do it.
Sparkling water, because when I got sober, nuts, because it's the salt from the alcohol, mixed nuts and then sparkling water was my pacifier. Like, okay, you're not drinking, but you can have this. And so I was drinking like 9 a day, and I definitely got way better, but it's still there. Like, okay, like I'm at a party, maybe in my mind, I'm not uncomfortable, but in my heart, like maybe I'm a little uncomfortable that I'm drinking. And so like, I'll just have a sparkling water because that's what I do when I network. Right. And so like, it's like, here's the deal. I'm cool with that. Like, I replaced it with a very, like, it's all relative, but it's still there. And if we're adults and we don't think it is, like, it's for sure there. And me, for me, it's my phone too. Like, that's what I would imagine is most people's. So,
and that's where it's like, just being able to recognize and identify what are some things that are pulling me in my life. Like, I actually have a really good friend that, like you have emancipated a lot of people and given them the opportunity to even engage that conversation with alcohol and everything, like, right. And so I have a friend that, I mountain bike with, who is, 10 years clean now from alcohol. But I mean, just hearing his story and his openness with his story and everything like that allowed me the opportunity to engage in my own life and say like, is this too much in my life? What should I be doing with this? What's my relationship? So I started evaluating relationships with like things, not just people. Like, we think of relationships with like people, but no, you have a relationship with everything. You have a relationship with your phone. You have a relationship with everything in your life. And breaking everything down is so empowering and important, but you have to be willing. So like, just imagine life is you're walking through a tunnel, maybe like in the Goonies, right? You're walking through a tunnel and you can't see the light, but you're going somewhere. And most people, I think, are walking through a dark tunnel, trying to find the light. And you just have to know the light is there. And when you find the light, it's like, boom, breakthrough and super great. It's not always like all at once, but you just have to be traveling towards that.
Well, I had like a breakthrough, whatever you want to call it. I had like a mind shift on something this week, and I think I've 100% officially, and I'll share this with you. I don't think I've said it much on the podcast, but and maybe I was just so done with the marriage, but the moment I got divorced, the number one thought in my head was, wow, I'm really going to be able to help a lot of people with this because I'm living through it. And so same thing, I'm living with something right now. And my mind, instead of being obsessed about it and being pissed off that I'm here, said, okay, you're living this right now so you can go serve people later. And that was like, and my weight just went, like I stopped worrying about it.
Well, because every single experience we have is an opportunity. Like, life isn't supposed to be easy. There are parts of us that need to be kind of cardboard box, broken down and kind of put away. Like, that's not going to serve you or anyone in this world very well. Like, that's a healthy, like, some of that's good. But I know that every single hard knock I've experienced, I have chosen, and it's a choice. When my dad dropped dead, totally healthy, which anyone who listens to my podcast, I mean, I reference my dad all the time. Like, my favorite person, and like, I love my husband, but my dad was my true north, my absolute favorite person on the planet. I could have just, I could have let that tank my life. I could have let an abusive previous marriage tank my life. I could have let miscarriages tank my life. I could crap happens. That's life. What do you do with it? Like, that's what defines you. And you get to choose how you're defined. So I chose to define things when my dad, just missing him and everything like that. Like, I get to define how I use that to serve other people. Guess what? Now I can have conversations with people who've lost their parents. Mm-hmm. I can have conversations and relate and have like this heart that can empathize with someone who's faced abuse. I can face these. I now have permission to have these conversations that old Julie back, I definitely could not have had, with my like perfect little upbringing. It'd be like, well, how could you've never experienced anything hard in your life, like, oh yeah, I've experienced a whole hell of a lot of hard in my life. I've just chosen to leverage it for good. That is a superpower in and of itself. Take every bad thing, snowball it, wrap it into something good, and throw it back out into the world.
Well, I truly believe, we talk about habits and we talk about goals and we talk about all this bullshit, right? I truly believe that the only thing that you need in this life, and what I noticed in my coaching clients as we work together, is self-awareness. That's it. That's it. It's literally that. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to be perfect. You're always going to be changing. You're always going to be fixing. So if you say, okay, what's the number one thing my business partners say about me? The number one thing. I don't care if we've had a failed business. I don't care if they don't like me anymore. It doesn't fucking matter.
You're consistent.
Yes. But they say this. We give you feedback. Hey, this is not working for us. The next day, you show up and you're done. Like, they literally told me, he's like, we tell you at 9:00 at night, the night before, and at 6 a.m. on the new business meeting, you're like, okay, it's done. And like, I heard this talked. Gary Vee was talking to Luis Ortiz, who I love, on $1 Million Listing, who's had a crazy last couple of years, but he made a bunch of money. And he asked him, he said, how do you live your life? And he said, I live my life as if I'm walking down the street and my soul is walking right next to me, and I'm self-correcting.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
And that's how I live my life.
Okay, so does it just piss everybody off around you? Because I'm you and I, kindred spirits. Like, people are like, well, dang, how could you? Well, it wasn't working. So why would I keep doing that? I'm going to do something totally like, why do I need to take 5 years to figure something out? Like, I'm going to just make this change, make it happen, take action, done. And it freaks people out. Mm-hmm. Like, how do people respond to you when you do that?
Well, look, if enough people have told me like, hey, that doesn't work for me, like, it's probably needed, to shift, right? But here's where I dance. Okay. And this is what my girlfriend says about me. Like, she's real in the soul, the all that stuff, right? And I'm in the business, but she goes, but what blows me away is you're so accepting and you're open to all that. But I have to keep the dialogue in the lane where people can pull it. And one of the things that we talk about, me and Anthony talked about today, actually, is what we can't stand about content creators or people that speak on stage or these guys that write these big books, is they're so broad with their bullshit. Like, they're not giving, it's just some broad topic where there's not a tangible thing. I'm not looking to do that. And so when I'm out here in this space, like, I want to center in on it right there. Like, okay, wrap that shit up. That's not working for me. And here's the deal. I can be excited, but what I've been working on, and this is the number one thing, and this is my forever odyssey, is emotional stability. Like, there's a value to your heart being on your sleeve, and there's a value to being excited. But when you're talking millions of dollars and billions of dollar businesses and big wigs that you're working with, there's got to be a level of calmness that the excitement is for another time. And so I'm trying to adopt this like stoic, neutral, like kind of like, okay, it's bad, but it's not, because that 20-year-old like Tasmanian devil side of me it gets me in the room, but it doesn't get the job done. Right. And I'm trying to look at it from a 3D cube, a VR cube instead of just a 2D cube. And that's probably, for me, that's been the last 2 years of just like really trying to dial in and like, even like we just had a feel through, like that was like killing my life. Like I literally wanted to like shoot myself. Like I hated this deal so much. And we finally like let it go. We finally like lost a little money. But I realized that like if I had to take that on, my ego would be taking on that job and it's not worth it. And so like not my saying right now is like, don't step over a quarter to get a dime. Like what really serves me, because everything that you do, every conversation you have and decision that you make is going to pull your life in a certain way. And tell me if this doesn't resonate with you, because this is what all my friends are saying, my high achievers. As much as I want all the things, I don't want any of the things. And that's what I fight against every day. I want to help a million people and I just kind of want to hide. I kind of want to disappear at the same time. It's so weird. I feel like it's almost two sides of me.
Okay. Do you think that is also because part of me thinks that every once in a while, I could say, again, I resonate. I feel like this is just like a mutual therapy session, yeah. Because it's like super extrovert meets everybody. I know, you met somebody down in Costa Rica and interviewed him. It was great. And then basically everywhere I go, I'm meeting people and it's like, there are no strangers in the world, but you know what? I just want to be alone and just be like this. Hey, I want to be on social media and encouraging and inspiring people, but let me just go have this quiet calm. But stillness, I don't think that they are. I'm starting to believe that they are not pushing it, that they're not pulling away from each other, but that they are balancing each other out. I don't like balance. I'm kicking the term balance out of my life and embracing harmony, because harmony is complementary to each other. Balance is like they have to be perfect, like this, no perfection, like they need to be harmonious, right? And so they complement each other. It's like, yeah, I'm doing this whole outreach, this pouring out to all these people, but now I need the harmony and I need to go and have the stillness.
No, it's coming up in me because I've never admitted it I've never admitted it to anybody, actually. I think sometimes people expect a certain version of me, and I feel like I've got to like play into that when I really just want to be quiet sometimes.
There's so much pressure on extroverts, especially bubbly extroverts, right? There's so much pressure.
When they meet me in person for the first time, they're like, "Dude, you're pretty chill," and I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Like, I'm like, I just want to listen to some music and chat. Like, I don't like eat metal. Like, I'm not like they think like literally. You know what's funny? They asked Cassie. They're like, "How do you deal with them?" And she's like, "He's fucking calm as fuck." Like, but then I go drink the Red Bull, and I want to like. So I inject those things in my life so I can show up as that version. But like at the end of the day, like I don't think it really is who I am in my soul.
Yeah. Okay. So there's that pressure to show up a certain way. Definitely. I felt that so much in my teens and in my early 20s that I like people would comment if I was just having like a calm moment at the gear shop I worked at. Like people come up to me and be like, "Are you okay? Is everything okay? Are you fine?" I'm like, dude,
a million times. I'm fucking great, dude.
I like living. Can I just be like, there's this other side of me. I'm not always on. Like, I need to have chill time also. Like, that's so important. So then are you still trying to please people? You know what I mean? Like, is it okay?
No,
here's a question.
Okay.
Here's a question of the hour for real. Is it disingenuous? You're going to answer this for both of us because we're like kindred spirits. Is it disingenuous to drink the Red Bull and show up as the amplified version of ourselves? Is it disingenuous?
Yes and no. I mean,
right?
I mean, you're kind of giving them what they want, so they leave happy. So that makes me happy. You know, at the same time, I think at the end of the day, I think the person that I'm showing up for, trying to please, is who I think I was in my 20s. Like, right? And I think that, like, okay, perfect example. There's two people that can, like, and I'm telling you right now, you know me as like a nice guy. Like, yeah, I'm like a little hard, like I can push hard, but like I'm a nice guy. There's two people that can send me into the meanest motherfucker you've ever seen. Like my ex-wife and my dad. And it can happen in like 2.5 seconds. Like, and what my coach, so long story short, one of the most powerful things I've ever done in my entire life is we did a meditation with me sitting on a bench with my 17-year-old self. And I just fucking lost it. This was in Florida. Like I was crying. Like it was
Whoa.
like body shaking. It was a thing, right? And what I realized is that guy, that 17-year-old dude, he's so scared of losing this version of myself that he comes out in the most unopportune times. And it makes me think that that's me instead of realizing that's just him because he's scared. And so what I have every one of my clients do, every one of them, is they have to write a letter to the age or the time when shit was awkward, and they have to tell that version of themselves that they're good, whether it be their dad or their version, and they have to burn it. And it's like and so for me, and I wanted to ask you this because it's come up the whole conversation. I've tiptoed around it like 9 different times. I'm so far removed from my childhood, and it wasn't terrible, but there's things obviously there that have affected me my whole life, that I feel like I don't want to be that version of myself so much that I lock that away. And maybe I glorify how great my childhood was when it probably wasn't as good as I think it was. And maybe I need to come to grips with the fact that maybe the angelic life that I thought my parents never fought was probably not what happened. Right. And so like, I think I'm finally in a place mentally where I can do some work on that, but it's fucking scary. Like, because I don't know what's going to come up, and I love this version of myself so much. Like, I don't want to lose this, but I know I'm only going to enhance it. Right. Like something you mentioned to me, but like, that's still scary. Right. Like what we were talking about, like fear, like,
It's terrifying. It's terrifying. But the cool thing with where you're at right now is that you've already had this experience of where you've come from,
mm-hmm.
and you've grown into the next version of yourself. And so you've gone through this process. And so the more you go through the process, I think that you collapse those timelines of being able to continually go through that process. Because I think that going through like all of life is just going through that process repeatedly, because once you go through this process with your childhood, it's going to unlock other areas that you're going to have to go through. And all of those areas will just snowball you forward, which is really exciting. But can we really be the fullest version of ourselves if we have things locked away? Like, it's like a rotten orange, like you can smell it forever away. Like you can smell it, it, you identify it. Like you never keep that in your house. You would like throw that away in a heartbeat.
I just opened a big wound in my life that I'm going through right now. And it was very scary. I've put it off for years, and I finally feel at peace, even though I'm still going through it. And it feels so empowering to know that I'm getting on the other side of that. Right. But something I want to propose to you that I want to tell you, because I feel this way and I'm sure you do. And I want to tell you, Julie, that the same way I feel, and I felt it this week, is that you're playing small still. Like, I think that me and you are way more powerful than we even comprehend.
Or are we terrified of it?
We are. We're on. Like my friend explains. She explained it so perfectly to me. She might as well be psychic. She explained it so perfect. She goes, I see you every week walking on a tightrope across 2 mountains over and over again, and you're not ready to finally let go of the rope. Right?
Totally. Completely. But it's like, the cost of it and the fear and uncertainty, and to know like that playing big, like that part of everyone wants acceptance. That's human nature. Some of us want acceptance more. That desire for acceptance really crippled my life for so many years, or it led to abuse. It led to bad things. So it's hard to delineate between, am I playing small because I'm scared that I want acceptance so much, and I'm scared that people aren't going to receive that, or that I'm going to go for acceptance that's unhealthy as well.
Probably so.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Like, that's where me and you are different. Like, yeah, we're kindred spirit, but like, I'm at a point right now, and it's like, it's very rearing its head this week after I've had 50 conversations with very highly intelligent people, that me and you, we have it. And that's the difference, is that we both need to lock into the fact that we can hold our own in any conversation, and let's just see, right, if we get on top of our skis, where that's going to take us and who can we impact with that, right? Because everybody asks me all the time, like, how do you keep the energy up? I got lives to change. Like, it's so easy. Like you're tired. Like, I'm like, I don't even give a shit. Like I could go, I still have a meeting on Saturday. Like, I don't care. Like, it's all good. Like, and we're going hiking in the morning, and like, it's all good. Like, I'm just, because I was thinking about the whole time you're talking about like life and everything. Like, I realized goals, like, and all that, it's great. But I have one goal. I want to do cool shit with cool people.
Right.
That's it. I don't care what the project looks like. I don't care what the outcome's going to be. I don't care if there's money on the back of it. I don't care any of those things.
I'm with you.
That's
on all
it.
That.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You sent me that property last night, and I'm like, let's fucking do it. And you're like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Like,
I'm ready to drive. I actually have it on my itinerary. I'm like, I'm going to go mountain bike down there with my kids and go check this out.
Because at the end of the day, every day that you and I act like we don't want that, is a day that we're denying who we truly are. And so I'm not going to do that anymore, because I did it most of my life.
How do you see the bigger vision? You know what I mean? Like, I have my vision board, I have ideas, I know what I want to do, but then embracing or finding the people that, like, I don't know how to do this. I can see where I want to go. I can see the.
Do you know how you do that?
Oh,
You met them. Yeah.
You're like,
no, that's my specialty. I'm not joking. Like, I have this innate ability to say, no, you shouldn't be doing that. You belong here. And then boom, put them in their perfect role, and they're the happiest people. Here's the problem with society. This is very simple. It happens in corporate America. It happens in school systems. It happens in everything. Nobody is in the right position. That's the number one problem. Frank over there, that shouldn't be touching a fucking spreadsheet, is forced to go do a spreadsheet. And so his uneasiness in doing that creates him being a shitty husband and then being mad at his kids. Because we don't allow people to be themselves. This all goes back to the beginning of the conversation. Nobody says, take a Meigs-Breyer's test or a DISC test, and then we're going to go find a job for you. No. So you know what Austin does? I seek talent. And then we find a place for you in the ecosystem I just want to be in the ecosystem of amazing people with high level thinking, doing great things. And I promise you, if we do that enough, everybody's going to find their spot.
That's funny. That's been like the little whirlpool I've been trying to swirl. It's swirling, but it's not swirling as powerfully as I want. I'm like, come on, whirlpool. We got things to do.
Well, you live in Idaho. I mean, that's the biggest issue, but that's a whole other that's a whole other thing. But at the end of the day, like, and I'll tell you this frankly, and it's not to blow smoke up anybody's ass, is like, we're doing something together. Like, I'm not even worried about it. Like, yeah. Whether that's write a book, whether that's do a retreat, like, it doesn't matter, because when you find people that you can speak to and have an intelligent conversation, you know what I don't want to talk about anymore? The fucking weather. I don't want to talk about the motherfucking weather anymore. Guess what? I'm going to let you in on the biggest secret on the fucking planet. I'm about to solve all your problems. It's fucking hot in Texas. Like, yes. And if we have to talk about it one more time, I'm going to go, I'm going to shoot myself, because here's what I'm going to let you know. We live in a society where you can rent an Airbnb very easily. So guess what? Me and my girlfriend made a pact. In August, we will not spend time in Texas. I don't give a fuck. And so we're going to go to Utah. We'll go to Idaho. Stop acting like your life is put up in a box. Make it better. Do better. And have more deep conversations than how's the fucking weather.
But everybody is so sensitive. That's why what you and Anthony are creating with Brain Dump, that's why I consider it a sacred space. It's like you can actually have real conversations where everyone's feelers are not like getting hurt. It's like, you know what? Just have a real conversation. You try to have a real conversation out there in the world at this time.
Can't do it.
And somebody's like, well, you just stepped on this special interest group and this and this and this, and don't talk about that. And now you made me feel bad. And like, can we all just get over ourselves and like have conversations that are intentional and full of meaning to help each other level up, or just help each other find acceptance?
Because what's interesting, and there's no need to dive into it deeply, but what's interesting, right, as a society, is that we've lost the touch of humanity. I mean, like my girlfriend's favorite example is when road rage. Like, you're acting like there's not a fucking human inside that car. Like, and when she brought it up to my attention, I'm like, oh, that's 100%. Like, that person's angry as shit out of a vehicle, but there's a human inside who they might be having a bad day. They might, and so you keep saying this word this week, and this acceptance thing is just so powerful, because it's the acceptance of letting your son, right, be who he is. Letting your husband say, hey, this is how I feel, and I'll accept you for who you are, but know that my standards are here. And so when to take this all back to tactical stuff, the acceptance of you are uniquely weird as shit, and you're funny, and you're goofy, and you like to dance, like, true story. And you'll be able to see it in Monday afternoon. My girlfriend hates my wig I wear, the fucking thing, but I bought a new one, and it's the boy band one with the white hair, and I'm gonna remake NSYNC and fucking shit. And don't get me wrong, when I go golf with my best friends, like, we got on hole 8, and they're like, okay, so I think it's been long enough. Do you need help? Do we need to call somebody? Because that dumb shit you're doing on Instagram, I don't know what it is, but these are my best friends. I've known them for 20, but it's cool. I'm just trying to show people that there's got to be a better way. Like, you can't grip life you can't spend your whole life like clenched up. Like, I just had my bodywork guy on, who does, like, on the podcast yesterday. And we were talking about how many percentage people understand the energy in their body or take care of themselves. And he was like, I don't know, 3%. Like, we don't even drink water. Like water. Like, nobody cares about water. And here's the scary thing, not to go off on a tangent, but I travel a bunch. The amount of unhealthy people in this world, mentally and physically, are alarming at best. And so, you know what my buddy said, who manages $5 billion for UT? He was like, you want to know the best job to be in the world right now is to be a coach. He's like, you're going to have work for the rest of your life. And it's like, we got to slow down. We got to slow down, and we got to take an assessment on our life. What's serving you? What's not serving you?
Oh my gosh.
Just take a minute, take a pause. Just whoa, like, whoa, like, but we don't. It's go. And I'm just as guilty. And like I told you, maybe it's paying, for a trainer. Maybe it's paying for, giving yourself permission to pay for a meal delivery service, like, so you don't have to think about it. Like, hack yourself,
definitely,
so you can figure it out.
I'll tell you what, when tough times come, like when my dad dropped dead, the world stopped, it stood still, and there was nothing. Like all of a sudden my calendar was like blank. It was crazy. It was amazing how all of my responsibilities just vaporized like that. Like, again, you get to make the most of whatever you go through. And I always just try to make lemonade and find the best in things. And here's the deal. It's like, just pretend like, really, does this need to be on my schedule? Because everybody is just going through the motions of life instead of actually.
You ready? You know what my mentor calls it?
Right.
Dirty yeses.
Oh, it's true.
He said, how many dirty yeses are on your calendar?
I don't have any.
I know, because you're good, but
I made a choice to not have any. I had a ton before, and guess what?
Well, you know what's coming up? Man, these things keep coming up to me. I always told myself that if I didn't go to college, that I would work my ass off. And I think like I would work hard, like 3 jobs, like always. And I think what I need to get out of, and that's why like today is like it for me for a little bit. Good. Is that I'm allowed to like work 3 hours a day and feel good about it. Now I'm not there yet mentally, but I'm going to try my damnedest. Like, because I deserve, 350 episodes, put it in the can, did it, like amazing conversations. But I almost had to work that hard to be able to give myself permission to say, it's okay to take time off. Now that's not sustainable, and I'll continue to work on that. But I think that's everybody.
I think though that's almost like coming to that same point I came to when I had miscarriages, when I lost my dad and stuff like that. Like, you almost have to come to a point of exhaustion to where you have to take a break, you have to rest, or it's forced upon you in order to even see and crack the code and say,
that's a good point.
I don't.
What do they say? You lose enough money, you figure it out.
Right,
like,
exactly.
You almost have to, like, my mentor, by the way, I have to introduce you to this human being. He will change your entire life. Like, he's the type of guy where you say something to him and he goes, hold on, I'm going to receive that. And he'll sit back for a minute but he said, here's the deal with life, Austin. He said, you either learn or you don't, but the lessons as you get older hurt more and cost more. Yep. And you have to understand that in this life, there's patterns that keep coming up, and you can either address them or you can blame them on somebody else. And it's one of those things, right? I mean, we could do this conversation for 9 years, and we'll do it again very soon. I want to respect your time. If people want to find out about your podcast and everything that you got going on, how would they do that?
Go to any of your favorite directories. Look for Ask Me How I Know, Multifamily, and Mindset. And you will have over 100 episodes to feast upon. But I'll tell you what, talk about coming into my own, in a sense. I've become a little less apologetic on mindset episodes and a little more poignant, because there's a message that needs to get out, and people need to stop living lies. And
dude, my rants are lit up like a Christmas tree, dude. Like, there's some that are highly aggressive. I'm going to send you one. It's my favorite one, where I just let it rip. And it sometimes it just needs to get out. You need to be frank. I think we're too soft in society.
I don't know. I still am a little bit happy and smiley as I'm like saying all these things, which is really, it's like, I do say, actually, I have an episode coming out that is on, is a smile a lie? And that's the equivalent of a dirty yes, potentially. And like, what are you hiding behind smiles? And can you be true? It goes into a lot of different things. It's gonna be
Is
great.
A smile a lie? I love that. I love that so much. Guys, if you like this episode, make sure you send it out to your friends, rate us and review us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Construct Your Life with Austin Linney. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and pay it forward by sharing with a friend. Most importantly, take this opportunity to start constructing your life by taking immediate action on what you learned. For show notes, resources, and more information on one-on-one coaching with Austin, visit constructyourlifepodcast.com.